I mean, it's pretty clean, but it's not up to my standards. Hello, people of the internet. Today I'm going to be working on my sister's Xterra, and hopefully this may be the last video I have to work on a vehicle in this garage, other than car detailing. If you're new and you've missed quite a few videos, up above is going to be a link to a video talking about the new shop that I have leased. Now that the formal business is out of the way, if you guys saw that video a couple weeks ago where I changed the right side valve cover gasket on the Xterra and also put some of Marvin the Martian's mystery sauce in the engine to see if it would help with the oil gunk and deposits that was up in the valve train, now we're gonna find out if it actually did anything. Oh yeah, also, I forgot about this stupid conundrum. I have the new door hinge for it too, so we can fix this issue. I was surprised Nissan still had these things in inventory. It's a factory OEM door hinge. I bestow you a hinge. You're gonna change your own hinge while I work on the engine. Except that thing's silver and your factory ones, of course, are black, so maybe we should shoot it real quick with a coat of paint. No idea why I'm gonna waste the time to paint this thing to match the truck's completely scratched to hell paint. But you can't put it in there silver, it'll look like crap. Let's see. Ew. What is that? It looks like mold, or like a mouse was living in there and kept shedding or something. That is so disgusting. I don't think there's supposed to be zip ties all over the place in this engine bay. There's just zip ties everywhere. There's a zip tie holding the radiator core support in place. What actually is this tube? It looks like part of maybe the airbox silencer. It's just plastic hollow tube that goes to the lower half of the airbox that's full of a bunch of rat feces. Luckily you got a brand new radiator for this thing too. Not gonna be doing the radiator in this video. That I'm gonna do in the new shop, because I'm just doing this because you guys wanted to see some working on project car content, and my shop's just not ready, so. I don't really see why this is so difficult to remove the intake manifold. I mean, this looks really simple to take this thing off. And I don't think those are gonna be famous last words. This just looks simple. I take these throttle cables off. Oh, they got a little guide on there. I know there's two coolant lines inside there that are gonna make a little bit of a mess. It's weird that they use these little roll pins to hold the plug wires in place. Jeez, look how long that is. That's what she said. That's nice. With a little bleed screw right here on the top of the intake manifold. It's got a little label that's written in kanji. You need help? Yeah. Okay, I'll help you. This is probably gonna be a two-person job anyway, because I think we're gonna have to take the door like partially out to get in there. The gaps look good. Look at that. It shuts. Before, it used to like slam into it and you had to lift up on the door to shut it all the way. Now it's like a brand new truck. You see how it was messed up? There's like a rod that goes through it, and then there's little bushings around that rod. Those were worn out, and then I wouldn't be surprised if the rod was starting to wear too. So when that wobbles, your door was wobbling, but because your door is really long, it's really exaggerated. Weird, no coolant spilled. Ooh. Oh, that's just a crankcase breather. It's not even a coolant line. Okay, so that's off. It's actually fairly simple. Just 5 cap head Allen bolts in the center, and then you can lift off the intake manifold. I got a couple of lines in the back I needed to detach. There's two little coolant lines back here in the back half of the engine. And then you have this guy right here, that's a crankcase breather vacuum line, goes to the valve cover. And then right here, this is the other coolant line. So it's like one coolant line, one way in the back. Almost, there we go. Can you give my pliers back? There. Now I just got the last one back there. Just pop down. Out, out, out. This hose was so hard. It's not even rubber anymore. It's like brittle plastic. Listen to that. That sounds like a chunk of plastic. It wasn't as hard to take off the intake manifold as I thought it was going to be. It's actually fairly simple. I think what makes it tricky for people is if they're trying to remove it and the rear coolant lines are old and hard and brittle, they sit there and they fight with the clamps and try to fight with getting the hoses off. But in that situation, you shouldn't even bother. What you should do is just cut the hoses and replace them, because you don't want to try to reuse an old nasty coolant hose like that to begin with. Since you already saw me take off the other side valve cover gasket in the last video, I'm just gonna snap my fingers and it'll be off and we can see what the gunk looks like in there. Well, it's still on, but the screws are off. I just didn't want to take it off and not get surprised in real time. Ooh, that already looks cleaner. See, surprised. Oh man. Hell yeah, that stuff worked. Not sponsored, by the way, but I'm giving this stuff some credit. Marvin's mystery sauce mysteriously made it clean. That's a massive difference compared to the passenger side. I'll throw a clip in there in case you didn't see it. Way, way, way cleaner. No more black tarry nastiness on top. There's a little bit down there in that corner, tiny bit, but I will admit it. I approve. Marvin's mystery pancake batter is definitely worth the free advertising because it did its job. This thing's gonna take forever. And just like that, valve cover is nice and clean. I gotta get this old gasket off of here. This gasket's like it's made out of wood. Look at this. That is not rubber anymore. I don't think that's what anyone said situation. Look at this. No wonder it was leaking. I think I got a little bit extra coolant hose. Definitely don't need all that. Hello, it's the following day. I realized last night that I did not have the intake manifold gasket at my house because I left it at my shop. So I couldn't finish the Xterra last night. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do this. Last day working in this garage, I swear. Now that I got the gasket, I also have a new knock sensor, which is located in the truck's asshole. Down there, underneath the lower intake plenum, which means the fuel rails have to come off as well. I gotta remember to keep my OCD in check working on this thing, because I just spent the past like 40 minutes removing all the black plastic chafe guard that is on all the wire loom that goes through the center of the engine bay here, especially stuff going to the injectors, because I don't want that stuff falling apart and getting down into the intake tracks when I remove the lower plenum. It's a little excessive for an engine that has 260,000 miles on it, but if you're gonna do something, you might as well do it right. No? What are you? This is 6. This is gotta be 6. That's 7. Come on. I used a zip tie to hold the fuel rail up to the underside of the hood right there. It'll keep it up out of the way, so I can go ahead and remove this lower plenum and get it all nice and cleaned up. The amount of stuff you have to remove just to take this knock sensor out is sheer stupidity. coolant line on the back side of the lower plenum. That's a fucking treasure. What the fuck did I just do with the pry bar? There it is. There we go. Oh, come on. You're almost off. Holy shit. You stupid. There we go. Aha. It's off. There you go. The hell out of here. Out with the old. Okay. Got the lower plenum gaskets. They're kind of tacky. Whatever material they use on these to make them seal. I wish I could have got this valley cleaner than I did. I mean, it's pretty clean, but it's not up to my standards. There. Oh, voila. Celine cleaned up the upper plenum as best as she possibly could. It's pretty clean now. You have no idea how happy I am to have this back on there. Cruise control. Bolts. This probably would have been possible to do this all in one day had I had all the parts here, and had I not had OCD and tried to clean everything that I had apart and reroute wires and re-chafe wrap stuff and replace zip ties. But it was worth it. Last plug, I hope. We'll see if this thing actually starts. These clips right here for the throttle cable are really brittle and they just broke and fell apart. So I gotta try to find these at a junkyard or online. Same thing over here, these two vacuum lines, those plastic clips by the brake master cylinder are broken and poop. But other than that, everything's back together. The engine actually looks pretty clean now. I have a brand new radiator for this thing, so I don't wanna waste brand new jug of coolant. I'll just use distilled water because it still has at least a gallon of coolant in here, I'd imagine. See if I got the spark plug wires on correctly. Sounds good. Oh yeah. I actually found two vacuum lines under the intake manifold that were disconnected when I had this thing apart. Now they're connected, so this thing should run a lot better. And it seems like it's idling better, right? Yeah. Like it idles way better. It's cold. We just took it for a quick drive, and the verdict is, I am shocked at how much of a difference. Actually, owner of vehicle. Yes. Other than that, and the fact that my lips are chapped, I gotta replace the plug wires, cap, and rotor on that thing because I'm tired. I did notice that the plug wires looked like poop when I was pulling them off, and they don't really go back into the cap very well. Everything's all kind of old and decrepit, so I'm over that stuff. And my lips are chapped. I'm gonna go to bed now. Bye. See you soon in another video.